Flock here. Been a lot of talk about the trial. I just want to set the record straight though. Make my first official statement about it.
Talk to them, my dog. Soon come home, man.
We consider that to be self-defense.
On August 6th, 2026, New York rapper Kay Flock was targeted behind bars shortly after news surfaced regarding a potential new release date. Reports revealed that Kay Flock had a court update today, with his legal team submitting new paperwork challenging his 5 guilty counts. If successful, the artist could secure an updated release window, prompting Kay Flock to address the public for the first time since his appeals were accepted.
Flock here. Been a lot of talk about the trial. I just want to set the record straight though. Make my first official statement about it. I want to give thanks to everybody who supported me and kept me in their prayers. I want to thank everyone who was involved in my trial, especially the judge who made sure I was treated with respect throughout the process. I have to thank my lawyer, Michael Ashley, no cap, for not giving up on me and putting up a fight, even though we still fighting because it ain't over till Allah says over. I want to thank every one of my fans and supporters. I love y'all, everything to the chin, nothing to the heart. And my spirits and faith is high as they ever been, and I pray everyone out there is at peace and feel positive too.
This development left Kay Flock so optimistic that he even reached out to New York City jewelers to commission a brand new chain. A post surfaced reading, Kay Flock has a piece ready for him the moment he steps out. It's only a matter of time before the GOAT returns to the city, alongside videos showing off a fresh VVS diamond pendant sitting at the jeweler's shop. However, all this attention reportedly angered fellow inmates in his block, who are serving life sentences. Investigators noted that roughly 48 hours after the positive legal update was announced, the rapper was targeted by inmates inside the Florence High Security facility. The news caught the attention of Bobby, who weighed in on Kay Flock's legal battle and current situation.
What's it like for you watching the Kay Flock thing happen? That's crazy. Next big artist coming out of New York.
I love Flock, so I like that. That's my guy.
Okay.
But you know, I'm wishing him the best right now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for the alleged charges they pushing on him, you know what I'm saying, I'm wishing his family the best. I'm wishing the whole team the best and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I hope he beat them alleged charges, you know what I'm saying? Because he got a lot of future brightness he got, and I hope, you know what I'm saying?
That would be a sad story if that's the end of it.
Surprisingly, this prison incident might actually accelerate Kay Flock's path to freedom. But to understand why, it's essential to look at how his sentence connects to a street associate named Doogie, who testified against Flock during the trial. Reports state that Kay Flock allegedly used a weapon against someone who had fired at his friend back in 2020. Years later, that exact friend took the stand against him. The informant, known on the street as Doogie, was busted on distribution charges and agreed to a plea deal that threw Kay Flock under the bus. Doogie testified that after he was shot by an assailant, Kay Flock stepped in to defend him and retaliated using his own firearm. Kay Flock backed Doogie up, only for Doogie to turn around and cooperate with prosecutors years later. While Doogie was on the stand, prosecutors asked him, "After you were hit, who called you while you were in the hospital?" Doogie replied, "Flock called. He told me, 'You know we got you, bro.'" Prosecutors clarified if Flock meant Kay Flock, and Doogie confirmed it, agreeing that Flock intended to retaliate against the shooter. When asked directly, "Flock shot them in retaliation for you?" Doogie admitted yes, adding that someone was grazed during the encounter. Doogie went on to detail how Flock carried a firearm continuously and was on a call with rival gang members who were riding through their territory. This constant threat explains why Kay Flock was perpetually on high alert whenever he walked through New York City. Even Flock's close friend B. Lovey addressed the situation during an interview.
Some fans who are off at both me and academics after Kay Flock got locked up. In our tone when we talked about it, you know, it might have seemed like we were being a little too presumptuous. But is that weird for you? Because I'm sure you see people all the way from rappers to whoever acting like, you know, your boy is just done and he's cooked in this situation.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, people, especially people that don't even be knowing, like, y'all don't even know what's going on.
While his associate's testimony was technically a betrayal, it unexpectedly aids Kay Flock's legal strategy by establishing that he routinely carried a weapon strictly for protection. While that sounds counterintuitive, the legal filings explain why. Court documents state prosecutors submitted a letter noting it could be misinterpreted to mean the jury must decide whether the defendant, given his specific background and personal context, believed Oscar was about to deploy deadly force. Taking K-Flock's specific background into account is crucial. It means the court must evaluate the charges from Flock's personal perspective, acknowledging that his entire reality was shaped by living in high-crime neighborhoods. Growing up in a hostile environment, he carried a weapon at all times for basic survival, regardless of legalities. That mindset explains why Flock reacted so rapidly when confronted by Oscar Hernandez outside a barbershop. He saw Hernandez reaching for something and acted instantly in self-defense. That environment had been Flock's reality his entire life. Because the appeal submitted by Flock's attorney was accepted for review, there's a real possibility K-Flock could be released sooner than expected. The news even prompted a call from Top 5 to celebrate the update.
Talk to them, Flock. Talk to them, my dog. Soon come home, man. You got these little boys walking around with no jewels, Flock. They need you. They need you, Flock.
This led to a viral post stating K-Flock might actually get released just because of how he grew up. Rap money hits different. Man might be stepping out sooner than expected because he can submit unlimited appeals. To understand if K-Flock is legally at fault, you have to examine the official case files, which contain shocking updates. On December 23, 2021, K-Flock was captured on camera walking down a sidewalk accompanied by an associate, wearing a blue jacket, ski mask, and designer denim. As he passed a barbershop located on rival territory, someone inside spotted him. Oscar Hernandez stepped out of the shop and shouted at K-Flock, asking, "What are you looking at?" Flock shouted back, confused as to why he was being confronted when he hadn't initiated anything. The two argued on the pavement before Flock decided to turn and walk away. However, Hernandez pursued him. Surveillance footage shows Hernandez reaching inside his jacket at one point, causing Flock to fear for his life. In a split-second reaction, Flock pulled his weapon and shot Hernandez multiple times. Hernandez attempted to stumble back into the barbershop, but collapsed. Within minutes, emergency personnel arrived, but Flock had already left the scene. All that remained were Hernandez's slides and spent shell casings. With their primary suspect missing, law enforcement appealed to the public, releasing surveillance footage of the suspect. However, Flock's massive New York fan base worked against him. Followers immediately recognized his outfit from an Instagram video he had posted earlier that same day. A warrant was issued the following day, and to many people's surprise, Flock voluntarily surrendered. He retained top legal representation in New York within 24 hours of the incident, and his attorney escorted him to the precinct as soon as the warrant was active. Flock's lawyer issued a statement at the time, "I accompanied Kevin as he self-surrendered to detectives at the 30th precinct. Arrangements were made with law enforcement as soon as I learned of the charges. We have initiated our own investigation into these allegations and will address bail once we review the evidence and the district attorney's disclosures." His attorney later clarified in an interview that Flock acted purely in self-defense.
When the guy hits the ground and is found, he's got a loaded that was in his pocket that his hand was on at the time. We consider that to be self-defense.
So he did take him in self-defense.
That's what the allegation is. I don't want to talk too much about the details of the case,
Okay.
but the government claims that he pulled the. But at the same time, the person that was ground had his hand on a illegal loaded.
Okay. So without saying too much, you're arguing obviously self-defense.
That could be one of the arguments, self-defense. And I would say to the public, somebody's walking up to you with a loaded, it's pretty clear is going to use it, with a criminal record a mile long. Do you want to get or do you not?
Self-defense argument, federal prosecutors moved swiftly to link Flock to a prominent New York street organization, alleging a long-standing affiliation with the Third Side crew. As one of the most visible members of the group, Flock was a primary target for rivals, which kept him constantly on guard in public. The irony is that while the Oscar Hernandez incident initially put K-Flock behind bars, he ultimately beat those specific state charges. He remains incarcerated solely because federal prosecutors hit him with a broad RICO indictment while he was held on the state matter. Reports confirmed K-Flock was indicted by a federal grand jury on multiple racketeering conspiracy counts. Commentators quickly declared his career over, with DJ Academics noting feds just unsealed a RICO indictment on K-Flock. The mandatory minimum, if he doesn't beat these charges or cooperate, is life in prison. Flock's legal team expressed disbelief that the state incident was wrapped into a federal indictment, issuing a statement, "We aren't surprised by federal involvement, as we've been fighting Kevin's state case for over a year." Given that the original incident was a clear act of self-defense, it was a weak charge to begin with. Using it as a foundation for federal racketeering is extraordinary. Video footage clearly shows Kevin attempting to walk away before being cornered. Only then did he use a weapon to defend himself and his sister from an armed individual who was drawing a gun from his pocket. It appeared to many that federal authorities intentionally targeted K-Flock after realizing he had a strong chance of walking free from the state charges. By layering on federal racketeering counts, authorities demonstrated how long they can hold an individual in custody. Flock himself addressed his audience directly in an audio message from jail.
I know what's going on, man. Flock, I know something. Man, like, free me to the guys, man. Hey, yo, like, I'll be back real soon. Shout out to my fans and my supporters, man. I love all y'all, man. For all the youth out there, violence, man. For me, and do what y'all supposed to do, man. For me, get through life correctly, man. Like, get money. So, man, I'll see you real soon.
Observing how aggressively federal prosecutors targeted K-Flock, many commentators drew comparisons to YNW Melly's trial. Rapper Boosie Badazz shared his thoughts on how the system operates when authorities target a high-profile figure.
Putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted him bad when they waited for that law to get passed. So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.